Alright, so today is Foundation Friday. This is where I try out a new foundation every single Friday on my channel. We're in a little bit different of a background today because I just wanted to try out filming this entire video in natural lighting without studio lights and on my vlog camera, because that's the camera I usually use for check-ins when I like really zoom in, and I want you guys to be able to see everything I'm talking about in foundation reviews. So as you're watching this video, let me know down below if you like it better like this or if you like it better in my normal setup and then do like the check-ins in natural lighting. Just playing around, we'll see how it goes. But let's get into today's foundation. So this is a new release by It Cosmetics. It's their Confidence in a Foundation, long wear weightless full coverage. I have been seeing this foundation all over Instagram, so I was super curious to finally try it out. Let's read a little bit about this guy on Ulta's website. You can get this on Ulta or Sephora right now, so I'll link both down below. This foundation retails for $32. You get a fluid ounce of product and it comes in 48 shades, which is really great. It says it gives you a velvet matte finish, weightless full coverage, 24 hours of wear and hydration. Oil-free, it's supposed to cover blemishes, be for all skin types. It has ceramides, peptides, hyaluronic acid, squalene, so it has some good like skincare ingredients in here. Whatever the heck is in the It Cosmetics CC cream, my skin loves. Even when I had acne, I feel like when I was consistently using that one like years ago, it would help my skin. So I feel like whatever is in It Cosmetics foundations, usually my skin reacts really well to. So everything about this sounds friggin' great to me. We will see how it goes on and wears throughout the day. All right, so here's some swatches in natural lighting. I actually got another shade in the mail. So I have 3 shades of the It Cosmetics foundation here. The first one is the lightest shade, 100. Here's 110 and here's 115. And it's actually a few days later when I'm filming the swatches, so I don't think I have any of the tanner left over on my skin, so these swatches are against like my normal skin tone. And then right here is the It Cosmetics CC Illumination in the lightest shade Fair. This is a pretty good shade match for me. You can see the undertone is more neutral than some of these. Here's CYO Life Proof in 101. L'Oreal Fresh Wear Foundation in 400 lightest shade. And then the new Tarte Face Tape Foundation, which I have a review on from 15 Days of Foundation, in the shade 12B. So if you're excited for Foundation Friday and you enjoy this video while you're watching, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you're in the Pittsburgh area, I'm doing a meetup Saturday, April 13th, 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock. It's in the Sephora inside Ross Park Mall, so I'll have the info down below. Let's get into putting this foundation on my face. All right, this feels so different because we're on my vlog camera, we're in my bedroom, we're in front of the window, and we'll see how this goes. There's no extremely bright lights blinding my eyes, which is always a plus. So right now when we're starting this is 10:27, so about 10:30. We're starting a little bit later because I've already worked out, did laundry, had a productive morning. Whenever I work out first thing in the morning, I feel like it's like 3 p.m. by the time I start my day. So the one thing is that this camera sometimes has autofocus issues, and I can't tell if it's like fully in focus until I'm looking back on my computer since the screen is like this big. So I'm gonna just hope that we are fully in focus this entire video. I have a feeling I'll be the darker one right now because I do have on a little bit of self tanner left over from the weekend we went to Bainbridge. It's like almost washed off, but it is definitely still there. Long wear, weightless, full coverage, velvet matte finish. Looks pretty thick on the palette. So we're gonna start out with a brush on this side of my face. I've already moisturized like I always do. I think this shade even is gonna be a little bit light for the self tanner neck today. So I'll just add a lot of bronzer, and I mean it might oxidize, we'll see. I wanna see if you guys can really see the foundation better. That's the goal with my foundation videos, is that I want you to be able to see what it actually looks like on my skin, so that when I'm talking about something, or if I like notice something on my face with the foundation, you can see what I'm seeing. That is my goal. It's really hard to achieve that in my other setting. I would say it looks like full coverage. When I first put it on, I thought it was gonna be like a cakey one, but as it's kind of like sitting on my skin and warming up, it does look like a velvety, kind of more matte finish. I just got too much. I'm gonna spread that over and then we'll smooth it out with a sponge on my forehead. Yeah, whoa, definitely got way too much. It does look like it darkens a little bit. You can see this shade versus this shade when you first put it on. For some reason it's not looking the best on my forehead. It almost looks like a bit patchy. I'm getting some patchiness, I guess, where I have a little bit of dryness right now on my forehead. Maybe it'll like warm up to my skin there, but I'm not loving how it looks right here and a little bit over here. But I do like that it has like a soft kind of satiny finish. It definitely darkens about half a shade. Now I feel like it matches my neck pretty well. It definitely looks a bit light when it first goes on, and then it darkens, yeah, for sure. Love the coverage. I think I actually got about the same coverage with the sponge, maybe a little bit less. Finish wise, it looks pretty much the same sponge and brush side. It looks a little bit glowier on the sponge side. My pores look a little bit more blurred on this side for some reason. The only area I'm not loving is my forehead, but I feel like it might kind of like warm up to my skin the longer I have it on. It doesn't look bad at all. Like overall, I do like how my face looks right now, to where I would wear it again like this. But I would probably put on like the Tatcha primer right here next time. And I might need to mix in a little bit of something just for my forehead. If you have dry skin, it does look like it clings slightly to dry patches. So I still have a little bit left over. So I'm just gonna take that right on my scarring to see if we can completely cover it up and build it to like opaque full coverage. So right now I would say it's full coverage, but low full coverage. Okay, that seemed to help the forehead. I just took a little bit more and went over it, and that looks a little bit better. Still same thing, but it does look better. Doesn't build to total opaque coverage, so if you have acne, I think it would still, you still have to like spot conceal, or a little bit would still come through. But overall, looking really nice. I love this kind of finish where it almost does remind me of the L'Oreal Fresh Wear, the finish of it, where it just looks like healthy, but not too glowy, gives you the coverage. Also, when we do this, we don't have to do the separate shot in natural lighting since we are here, so I'm just getting real up close so you guys can see. Yeah, just a little bit like heavy patchy looking right there. And here's the cheek area. Right now it's 10:40, so that's when we're gonna call the check-in time. Let's see if I feel like I need to set my cheek area. Right now it feels a little bit tacky, but it feels like it's setting. So I'm gonna give this a few minutes to see if it kind of sets down more to where I don't need to put a powder right there. That is like ideal on my dry skin if I don't need to powder at all to blend stuff, because it just looks so much better on my skin. I'm just gonna do really basic, nothing exciting kind of makeup today because I need to go grocery shopping. I want to go on a walk since it's so nice out, and I just have some like errands and stuff to run, so I'm not gonna do anything too wild. But check-in time is 10:40. I'll see you guys in a few minutes. Right back here. All right, it's now 11:08 and the rest of my makeup is on. The check-in time is 10:40. The light is definitely a little bit more shadowy on this side, so this side of my face looks a little intense. In real life, it's even. But I did not have to set my face, which I loved. Everything blended out fine on top, even though it was slightly sticky. It doesn't dry down to like a total soft kind of finish. You can still feel it a bit, like even when I'm touching my face right now, but it's not a slidey kind of finish. It feels like it's setting. It's just a little bit tacky. It is looking beautiful. I'm gonna zoom in, aka just step forward. Again, the only area I'm not like obsessed with is my forehead, but I think with some kind of like smoothing primer or something underneath, it could help out, because it's not awful. It just is like clinging a little bit. It doesn't look as smooth as some of my other foundations on my forehead. I would say it's a satin kind of velvet finish. The finish reminds me a lot of the L'Oreal Fresh Wear. Creasing, I'm starting to get a little bit right here around my mouth. I love how just like even and plump and fresh everything looks and feels. It does feel like kind of like a moisturizing foundation, so I do feel like I can kind of feel the hyaluronic acid and more moisturizing properties in here. Let's do a flash test. Okay, I think it looks really nice and flash. It doesn't look like there's a bounce back at all. I took a few photos, I'm looking at all of them, and it doesn't look like there's a bounce back in any of them, so that's exciting. So makeup on the rest of my face, brought it in here, I'll show you guys. Bronzer, I use my Pure Bronzing Act that I am in love with. A lot of these are like my favorites that I used today. The Buxom Blush Seashells, so freaking pretty. This was in my current favorites video. For eyeshadow, I use the CoverGirl Chocoholic. This is like kind of one of my go-tos when I just want really basic makeup. My highlight today is one of my holy grails for years. This is the Physicians Formula Natural Nude. I just go in with like the top row right here. For lips, I used Maybelline 530 Hot Sand lipstick. And then for lip liner, I just put on my collab liner in See-Through. That's everything right now. Really liking this one. We'll see how it does throughout the day. We'll see you guys in a few hours back in natural lighting. All right, so it's now 4:48. So it's been on for a little over 6 hours. And the sun is like directly over here. So hopefully you can see what's going on. All right, so it looked really good for the first like 4 hours, and then I feel like in the last couple hours it has gone downhill a little bit. It definitely doesn't look like a long wearing foundation on my skin. It's like almost separating in a few different places and just like breaking down. You can really see the dryness on my forehead, but it also looks like kind of dewy, which is odd. You can just see it like clinging to my skin in certain parts. And then down here on my chin, it is definitely breaking up. Looking pretty crappy down here. And around my nose and on my pores, it just looks like super cakey and just like it's totally breaking up now. I really like how it initially looked, and I liked how it looked for the first 4 hours. But right now, I definitely wouldn't wear it like this again, just on my skin. But we'll see how it continues to wear throughout the night. If it gets like any worse than this, if it's salvageable, we'll find out. So I'll see you guys in a few hours. It is almost 8 o'clock, so it's been on for about 10 hours, almost 10 hours. Definitely not a long wearing foundation. Pretty short wearing. Like I said, I think it lasted solid for about 4 hours before it started breaking down. It's looking like greasy now on my forehead, and also just like separating, coming off my face. Ooh, look around my nose and upper lip right there. Not good, not good. Separation all over here. Pretty oily looking. I can't imagine how this would look if you had oily skin. For some reason, it's made my blush and stuff look like patchier throughout the day. You can almost see my skin like coming through right here. I don't know if it's because the foundation has like rubbed off more, so now my blush is just like still fully on or what, but it definitely looks a little bit off right there. Almost think I might need to mix this one with something. I do like how it initially looks for those first like 4 hours. If I was just like going out to dinner or something, I would put this one on if I just knew I was gonna have my makeup on for like a couple hours, but for that, it's probably not worth buying, if you know what I mean. I don't know, let me know what you guys think of this one. If you have tried it, how did it work on your skin? What skin type do you have? It's always helpful to see what skin type you have and how foundation worked for you for other people in the comment section too, and I'm just curious as well. But for me, this one, yeah, just really didn't work great. I thought it was gonna go a lot better than this from the beginning of the review. But I hope you guys enjoyed this Foundation Friday and found it helpful. Again, let me know what you think of the lighting throughout this video down below. I am pre-filming these, so I won't see your feedback in time for like the next video filming in my time, so I might just do the same thing for the next video and then see what you guys think. But if you enjoyed this video, you can give it a thumbs up. I appreciate it. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.